come to you with only karate, empty hands. I have no weapons, but should I be forced to defend myself, my principles, or my honor, should it be a matter of life or death, of right or wrong, then here are my weapons. Karate, my empty hands. My name is Larry Tatum. I'm in Gorey Castle. It was a castle built on Mount Pride in Jersey, one of the Channel Islands overlooking the northern coast of France. Nothing that man makes is permanent or totally secured. So it is also true that although we make our bodies strong and build our walls of defense around us, we must remember to walk away from trouble, if possible, because to taunt trouble may leave us only like these castle walls, the empty relics which now serve as a reminder to all. The implements of war used at that time aren't really that much different than our natural weapons that we use in our martial art called Kenpo. Although our martial art is based off the Oriental fighting systems, there are similarities within, for instance, the swords, the spears, the maces, to name some of the weapons used in this castle during that era. Like that medieval sword, if I take my hand, fashion it properly, use it on my opponent, and strike in the same manner that a man defending this castle would strike, it's obvious to see that I'm going to have an awesome effect. One of the differences, I don't have to hold a weapon. My hand and arm actually becomes that weapon. So my angles of delivery, whether it be this angle or this angle, can be switched much faster than if I actually had a real sword. Besides a sword, my fist, if I fashion it properly, it can be turned into a medieval mace, which is no more than a stick at the end of it with either a rock or something fashioned that was hard at the end, which gave weight, so that when they rode by on their horses, they would swing their mace over their heads, striking their opponent. But like I said, when I fashion my hand into the weapon, my angles of delivery are easier to deliver because I don't have to hang on to a weapon. My hands are my weapons. We can go to another weapon that was also used to defend the castle, and that would be a spear. A spear can be fashioned by your own leg, your foot, that when we shoot our leg, we can shoot it just as if we were stabbing somebody. Or if I spear with my hand, it can have a devastating effect. If we look around even a little closer, we find that besides offensive weapons, we see defensive weapons such as shields. And a shield was another important part of their armament. If I take a shield, meaning my arm as a defense, and he shot a left punch, I could shield it, hammer with a mace, and chop with a sword. And then if I wanted to use a mace again, I could use it again. If you look at the way a castle was built, the angles at which it's structured is to protect all sides of the castle and make it accessible for all warriors to rush to the walls or to any entrance of the castle to protect it. Likewise, when we're in a fighting position, we choose certain angles that protect us, depending on whether we have a right kick. The angle is already there for me. If I have a left punch, a right punch, okay, but these are some of the angles that we take that are defensive for us. We call this a neutral stance because we're not committed to one angle, but from an even weight distribution and a proper angle on our shoulders, we are in a defensive as well as an offensive position. I'm going to take you out to the beautiful grounds of this castle. We're going to have some demonstrations for you and show you to the extreme of the art. We can show you what the art is like when it has to be dealt out for a mass attack, individual attack. And this way you'll get a better understanding of what the art can do when it's taken to the extremes. Although we don't want to take it to the extremes, and that's what we first teach our students, is we try and teach them humility along with self-respect, but self-restraint is one of the more important. If you can walk away from a fight, not afraid for yourself, but afraid for your opponent, that's a good feeling. And when you know that, and you believe that in yourself, that feeling is seen in you and about you by others. So come on outside with us now, and I'll introduce you to some of the attackers from the International Kenpo Karate Association, located here in Jersey. Like the walls that protect this castle and its interior, so too we have learned to adapt our hands and our feet to become our first lines of defense to protect our interior. As their hands become their first lines of defense to protect their interior, so too those hands and legs become their first lines of offense. As you notice, as their hands grab, twist, grab and pull, strike out with a punch, or chop, or they use an elbow, whatever the case may be, instead of being stationary as a castle, in essence they become a mobile castle as their hands and their legs move in and out of action.
The circle is symbolic of several things. It depicts life itself, a continuous cycle where there is no beginning nor end. So it is with the art of Kenpo. It too is a cycle of perpetual and unending movement or motion. Techniques follow a cycle. Movements are part of a cycle. Physical prowess, humility, and self-restraint are no more than components of a progressive learning cycle.